I'll just
when
stand
we
up
edit it.
for a bit more.
Well, the thing is here, what you can do is you can see where you are. So we're going to edit this in live time while we're cooking. We're editing as well. Yeah. So we're actually live now.
Hey, hello. How are you?
Hi guys, welcome to Simply Good Food TV's Kitchens. We are here live. Let me just move that up a little bit because I've obviously got a bit taller. We're here cooking at the Simply Good Food TV Kitchens. I'm here with Graham from
Kendall College in the
Come in, Graham. I can't quite see you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well this evening. Thanks for having me.
So Kendall College.
Yep.
But you're here to represent
the Wine Spit Education Trust, who I teach 2 courses for at the college.
So he teaches people to drink.
Can't get better than that.
Yeah.
That's what we all say, which is good.
I feel I'm a natural born graduate already. Okay, so we're going to cook 3 dishes. We've gone live on Facebook, and we will then archive the programme straight onto the app, Simply Good Food TV, which, by the way, is growing and growing. So thank you. If you've downloaded the app, thank you very much. We reckon we've got about 250,000 viewers all in all, which is super cool. I'm really, really pleased because I remember when we first built it and we had 1. It was me. But anyway, so we're going to cook 3 dishes, and you have very kindly bought 3 wines.
3 wines to hopefully
match them. Because if I'm honest, I am not a wine buff. I kind of know the rules, generally, for food and wine and matching, but I wouldn't by no means say I know really what I'm doing when it comes to wine. So I'm really looking forward to the fact that we've got somebody here to kind of tell us how, what will go with what. I sent Graham an email just to let him know what I was thinking about cooking, and unfortunately I kind of changed things a little bit, but luckily not so much.
We can play around with it.
Yes.
It's not a problem.
So what we're going to do is we're going to cook a lovely cheese dish. I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful savoury shortbread. We're going to serve it with one of Cheshire Cheese Company's cheeses, with lovely pears, some raw pears, some caramelised pears, some roasted walnuts, and a nice dressing and a little bit of peppery kind of watercress. I'm also going to cook pollock, which is a lovely white fish. It's not a really strong flavoured fish, so if you're not a big sort of fish eater, it's quite good because it's not got a really strong flavour, but it takes some good flavours. So we're going to cook that, and then I'm also going to do a brownie, but I've soaked some prunes, California prunes, in ginger beer, and I'm going to serve it with some roasted rhubarb with ginger beer and a bit of passion fruit. So kind of a very yin and yang, kind of clean, fresh, vibrant, rich, dark.
I think we can match with that, yeah. Absolutely.
The general theme is quite gutsy, quite ballsy food today.
Hopefully I've got some gutsy and ballsy
to
match.
So, right, okay, so what do you want me to cook first?
I think
first
if we
message.
go...
Cheese, pollock, I'm on my way.
Absolutely.
First message.
First
the
message.
beauty of it is we're live streaming. If you have a question or you want to know what we're doing, you can send it, and right here on this iPad we can see the message.
And hopefully be able to answer
so yeah, and obviously if we, if something's on our chin or something like that, come in. We can't see you there. See that red square?
I shall be in the red square.
Stay in the red square.
I think what we'll do, just for how you describe the dishes, is with the wines that I've chosen, we shall go with the pollock, followed by the cheese, followed by the cheese, followed by the cheese dessert with the pear and everything else. So do the pollock first.
So pollock first, then we're going to do the brownie, then we're going to do the cheese.
Absolutely, in that order. I think it'll go quite well.
Right, we'll go pollock first.
Yeah.
So you had pollock before?
I have had pollock, but not in the way you're doing it. I've had just simply grilled, as you quite rightly said, it's quite a light style of fish. So, not as good as you say, sort of hake would be or anything else. So it'll be interesting to see.
I love hake.
Hake is a good fish.
I do, it's a good fish. So, I've got a piece here, pollock, part of the cod family, so it's quite a light fish. I've got a good portion here, so I'm just going to cut this and I'm doing it on the plate because I don't want to wash my chopping board, if I'm honest.
That's fair enough, yeah.
And I want to just sort of keep it nice and quick and simple.
Yeah.
Let's just get rid of that piece for now.
I think, go back what you said as well, Peter, is there's a lot of people there that think, oh yeah, I like wine but not knowing how to do it. But the whole thing is, and see with the Wine Spit Education, it's taught me when I was doing the course about how fun with wine.
Yeah.
We've been going since 1969, due to the demand the industry needed at that time. We ended up doing three individual courses to keep up with demand and trend. And now we provide up to 9 courses from entry level beginners who know nothing, or very little bit, all the way up to the level 4 advanced, which just seems a stepping stone for the Master of Wine if people wish to go into there. But for any further information, you can also go down to their global website, which is a fantastic website. Very easy to use. They'll give you all the information in depth about the courses, but also give it the list of the providers in your local area. It's not just about being in the South Lakes where I teach at Kendal College, but about
he's got all his plug. He's got all the plugs in, hasn't he? He is trained to the nth degree. Let me just rinse my hands.
But if anybody is interested, people like your good self, I teach for level 1 and level 2 award in wine and spirits at the college. So basic to the intermediary level. But all very popular, not just for industry or industry-based staff. It's for all. So
sounds
hopefully
good.
We'll learn a bit tonight.
So, a little bit of Pollock, okay? We're going to get some olive oil on there.
Yep.
And we're just going to get some flavour on this, really.
Absolutely.
And I want to get sort of layers of flavour rather than just one layer. So we're going to, normally I would just maybe put the crust on here.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a black olive kind of tapenade style crust. But I want to get a bit more flavour in it, so I'm going to sear the fish off first and get some seasoned flavour on there.
Yeah.
So a good bit of salt on there first.
Draws out moisture as well.
Yeah, a little bit of pepper, not too much. And then hot pan. So let me move this out of the way. People can see this, what's going on. Any other fish we could use instead of pollock, Pete? Yes, absolutely. You could use hake, cod, ling. All those fish will give you that same kind of texture. Some flavoured fish, more so than others. I actually think you could probably do this with monkfish as well.
Oh, meaty, I like that.
Right, hot pan straight in. It's important to do this quite quickly because we don't want to cook it loads. We just want to get a bit of colour, a bit of flavour on that layer.
So why do you choose pollock as the main fish for tonight's dish then?
Because it's not really strong flavoured.
Yeah.
And what we are doing is creating lots more flavour with the sauce. It's quite gutsy.
Is it, compared to that, quite a sustainable fish with the whole thing?
It is.
Sustainability at the moment?
I'm kind of working at the moment with Alaskan Seafoods who are catching it wild.
Yeah.
And they're sending it over frozen, but it's all frozen really quickly.
Okay.
So it's that convenience of it being frozen, but it's processed really, really quickly, which is important. I mean,
it keeps fresh.
Don't get me wrong, the best fish is probably sat looking over at the sea.
Yeah.
You know, smelling that sea air,
Straight
that kind of thing. But, you know, we're not there.
No, absolutely not.
And as a nation, we don't really enough fish. It is really good for you.
Absolutely.
And we should eat more of it, and that's about making it really simple and easy.
I think it's sustainable bit brings the price down as well, because the likes of cod and everything else, it's driven up by demand.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to make a really quick. I've got some pita bread here because it's the only bread that I've got in the cupboard, so it doesn't really matter. I don't need loads. I want it more olive than bread. Okay. The crust. So I'm just keeping one eye on that fish as well at the same time. So loads of lovely olives here. Get rid of that stone.
Yeah. What sort of olives do you use, or is it
these are just a mix of just really lovely black olives.
Yeah.
That I've got, and then we're just going to blend that up. I think I can hear a stone in there, but it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that'll do. So I'm just going to put that straight onto there. So we've got a nice olive, really kind of salty, nice and pokey flavour. Looking forward to trying this. Yeah, so I'm going to take the fish. Haven't touched it, haven't moved it at all. Not once have I moved that fish. And all I'm going to do is just lift it, turn it, So you can see there, we've got starting to get some nice bit of colour. You've got to be careful not to overcook it.
No, you want to keep it as fresh as you can.
Which is why, particularly when you're just trying to get that little bit of colour on there. So there's the stone, there it is, there's the other one. So I'm going to take some of this crust, and the moisture from the bread and the olives have kind of bound it together. You don't need to add anything else to this to create that nice crust.
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay, and the moisture of the two will just kind of pull it all together.
Do you use a specific olive oil, or...?
I use lots of different olive oils. This is a basil oil. It's a Greek one. It's lovely.
Okay.
That's the only reason. Touch on there, and then straight in the oven. That's going to take probably 8 minutes, probably. Excellent. Maybe less.
Yep.
We'll keep an eye on it. I'm going to turn the pan down now. So what wine are we having with this?
I will go and get it.
Yeah, because I might need some for cooking as well.
So simply what we've got, I've picked, hopefully, something a little different. People will associate normally fish, white wine, etc.
Yeah.
But depending on the fish, we've gone red. We've got
can I have a little bit first?
You can. I'm going to put a bit in there.
A little bit more?
A bit more, absolutely.
There we go, that'll do.
So the reason I've done this... Go on, sorry.
So, I always think if you won't cook with it, you shouldn't drink it. Is that a sentiment you would agree with?
Well, the chefs that I work with would probably disagree with me, but they would just say cook with the best wines, because sometimes a bad wine can be very insipid and actually make something taste a lot more tart. So they always say cook with a decent wine and a glass of wine you're going with as well, which not that they do, by the way. So we'll just go on there.
All I've done here is I've taken tinned tomatoes, no sauce, nothing special, just a tin of tomatoes, and we're just gonna, that little splash of wine just gives me a little bit of something to play with, a bit of moisture. I'm going to take 1 salted anchovy as my seasoning. I'm going to break that in, and that's going to kind of melt away. And it gives it saltiness, really.
Well, this is one of the reasons why I've chosen this. As an individual fish, as you quite rightly said earlier on, the Pollock on its own would need just a light fresh wine, so like Pinot Grigio or like Sauvignon Blanc on its own, very simple. But to play with it a bit more, we could have put something a bit more heavier, sort of like Chardonnay, but I thought, no, I want to do something different. And I'm a big believer that red wines will go equally as well with fish and certain whites.
Really, that's interesting.
And what I've gone for is a very soft, not heavy reds like Shiraz or Cabernet, but light styles, fruity styles, Pinot Noirs, etc. What I've gone for, similar, because it comes from the bottom end of Burgundy, from an area called Beaujolais, is a Julianus, Domaine Duchesne 2011 vintage, from one of the Grand Cru villages, as I mentioned, Julianus, which again is made from 100% Gamay. So it's a soft fruit.
Gamay is the type of grape,
Gamay is the grape, 100% Gamay from the area.
Right.
Now what the Gamay gives, a very kind of like earthiness to the wine, but also think of sort of like cherry, red fruit, and sort of like a bit of a tart tan as well, not too heavy because it is a light fresh wine. And these should be drunk young, certainly from the area of Julianus, where some of the other Grand Cru sites, and Grand Cru just means they come from premium vineyard, from a premium site, so you get Fleurs Morgon, which is very clear on the label if any of our viewers want to go out and buy one, or you might just get a straightforward AC Beaujolais, which means the grapes come from anywhere within the Beaujolais region. Because one of the Grand Cru website vineyards, like I've said. But this one's one, because the soil that's grown on, is one you should drink quite fresh and young, so within 2 to 3 years. Okay. So, as you can see, I might as well pour a little glass over here.
Absolutely.
So pour a little in there. So you can see from the colour, it's a nice sort of like cherry sort of style colour. Not too...
Quite bright, isn't it?
Quite bright, yeah. So that shows its youthfulness as well. It's coming through. Now, it does have a bit of bottle age, youthful, I know, compared to me and my age. But what we've got is a 2011 vintage. It has got a bit of age to it, but I think it's at its best now. It's got earthy, think cherry, think red fruit. It's got a nice earthiness to it, but slight pepperiness on the palate as well.
See, I love the way that he spends loads of time sniffing it. I'm just drinking it. I just sniff and drink at the same time. It's lovely.
Could you get nice, slight acidity, slight tannin. Now, a popular way of drinking Beaujolais, say when we get to the summer, and hopefully it was good as the past few years, slightly chilled to take some of the tannic edge. But with fish, absolutely genius. I mean, the area itself probably isn't known for its seafood because it's inland. But I think the style will go equally well. But as I said, you've got Pinot Noir, you've got other indigenous sort of lighter varieties from different parts of Europe and the world as well, which would match equally as well. But hopefully, once it's all done, and one of the other reasons I've chosen it is obviously it's going to go with your sauce. Because you've got the saltiness of the anchovy in there. You've got the olives, which will give a slight bit of salt. You've got the slight tart acidity of the tomatoes as well. Now, because the style of tomato you've used, with pips in or very few, and that can take away some of the acidity. But in Italian cooking, we use a lot of tomatoes, as we know. A lot of wines from there we would use, certainly in Tuscany, would be Chianti, so Sangiovese, everything else. So a lot of red wines go from this. Is the idea that I've got from it. A couple of hotels I've worked in the past got some amazing sort of seafood dishes on. And one that always sticks out for me is our pan-fried scallops served with a pea puree. And with that, you think, oh yeah, you can put Sauvignon Blanc with it. But Pinot Noir to die for. Because I'm using Pinot Noir for another course, which we'll talk about later, I'm going for the Gamay.
Right, okay, so while you were chatting, what I've done basically is I've I've taken my tomato sauce, I've added a little bit of garlic.
Yep.
So this amount of sauce, so we've used what? Half a tin of tomatoes,
Yep.
a splash of the wine, about a quarter of a clove of garlic, because I don't want it to be all garlic. And then we've got a few of the olives that we use to make the crust to add in there. And then I'm going to add a little squeeze of lemon juice.
Yep.
Not a massive amount, okay, just a little bit. I've got a little bit of dried tarragon. Now, normally, I hate dried herbs, but tarragon's one of the few that kind of works quite well. But you need to be really sparing, otherwise it's just going to taste of tarragon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then finally, butter at the end, and just let that melt together. So it's a really simple sauce, all done in the same pan that we cook the fish in.
Absolutely.
So none of these excuses of all these pans and all this, that and the other. All the flavour from caramelising and searing off the fish is done in the pan, so we've not lost anything. That butter now is going to amalgamate with the tomatoes and the wine and everything else. So while we're doing that, I've got squeeze of lemon juice again, touch of olive oil, and a little bit of my favourite herb at the moment, Greek basil.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely love it. Have you used it before? Love it.
Not Greek basil, plenty of Italian, but not Greek.
It's totally different. Have a smell. It's sweeter.
Yeah, that comes through.
It's beautiful. It's my
try a
favourite.
leaf.
Go for it. Go for it. So a little bit of seasoning, and then what I've got is some watercress here.
That'll bring out some nice peppiness in it as well.
Yeah. So that is my salad. So that is my kind of super light. Now it's important. Don't dress this now. The minute you start mixing all those oils and vinegars and lemon juice on there, start to wilt it down. So leave it there. Leave it until you're ready. And then the minute you're about to serve it all up, then you put it on the plate and mix it.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to have a little taste of this and make sure we're where we want to be with it. So in terms of seasoning. Nice. Touch more black pepper for me.
You're right about the basil, though. Nice sweetness comes through, nice and fresh, like it.
One twist of salt. Really important that you season your food. Season as you go along. Season again, towards the end, because you don't know what's happened. Things can over-reduce, so on and so forth. So I think it's vital. Okay, so we're about 1 minute away from this, which is good. So let me bring that there. Pop that onto there. Okay, and then what we can do is we can crop in here, you see. So all you guys get to see then is the chopping board. You don't need to see us all the time.
No, absolutely not.
So let's just move that forward and then they can see. So, we'll give this salad a good mix now. Really gentle, really quick. I'm not going to overwork it, they're really young, delicate leaves.
I suppose with the acidity of a lemon as well, with that kind of like wilt the leaves a lot more as well.
Absolutely. If you do it too quickly, it's gone.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll have a little look at this fish. Wow, it's quite warm that. Okay, let's see if I'm just going to grab a fish slice really quickly. Luckily everything is to hand.
Excellent.
Okay, so nice and gentle. It's a good portion this actually. It's a good size. There we go.
Wow.
So really quick to cook.
Yeah.
Really quick. And then, right, what can those guys see? So we'll put that there. And then, good amount of that. Just to one side. Loads of goodness in here. Loads, tinned tomatoes, olives, nothing but goodness in this.
But the whole dish is so simple as well when you think about what you've gone through and how accessible it is for the ingredients. Anything, so
I think it's vital that you cook something. Let's go back, up to there. There we go. I think it's vital that you cook something that is achievable.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, why would these guys here cook it? For me, cooking simple is braver than cooking something complex. Because there's nowhere to hide. It's got to be good. You're relying on good ingredients.
Absolutely. Right. Let's just see what I've said works.
Well, you're the guest.
Moment of truth.
Please, have a taste.
Right.
See what you think.
Ladies and gentlemen. Let's just hope what I've said worked. Try and get a bit of everything in here, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll see where we go. That enhances the fish. Wow.
Yeah?
For something that's quite plain delicate, it's really brought it on.
Let's have a little look. I bought a new apron today and it's got pockets. I'm loving them.
You can hide many things in those pockets, but that's all I can say. Hide many things.
I'm not an apron kind of chef, if I'm honest, but I'm loving this apron. I might live in it.
You can't go on with that. You know, that works.
You sound a relieved man.
Wow. Bit of everything on there, but the pepperiness and the soft and the earthiness of the game, it just really brought that on. Certainly with the olives within the sauce, and on sort of like the variation of the tapenade on top. And a bit of the lemon and the acidity of the salad comes through. I think it's just really, really sort of like worked well with that. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, red wine. If somebody did want a white wine with it, again, I would think something a bit different.
Do you not think red wine's more popular than white now?
I think it varies to the time of year as well. Especially in the winter, people drink more reds because it's obviously a lot more warming. People feel with that. And the style of food that's eaten at this time of year, whereas the whites and the rosés tend to be sort of like more spring, summer-like.
Right, okay.
But to be fair, it can be drunk any time of year. It's entirely up to the individual what they want. If I was going to drink white wine with that, I just had a fantastic Portuguese wine the other day, which is a Videlo. Which
quite good Portuguese wines, aren't they?
Totally
I think they're a bit underrated, aren't they?
Absolutely. It was a producer called Portal, and it was a Videlo Sauvignon Blanc. So it's not a strict Sauvignon, predominantly Videlo with about, say, a proportion of 30% Sauvignon. That would work a treat with that. Because I think on its own with Sauvignon would be overwhelmed by the different flavours you've got going on the plate there. But something like that would be great. Or if somebody hadn't heard of Videlo or couldn't find the Portuguese wine, go with something like New World sort of style Chardonnay, not too heavily oaked either.
Right, okay.
Or an unoaked Chardonnay, if you wanted something a little different on that style of thing. So there's many different connotations there. That's what I would go with. So yeah, fantastic.
Nice. Like that.
What do you think of wine with it?
I think it's lovely.
Works well?
I like it.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting you to bring a red.
No, that's the whole point. I like to do things a little differently, but hope you have a bit of a play around.
Do you know what? I'm a bit of I tend to stick to Italian reds.
Fantastic wines.
They are.
Right, yeah, brilliant.
But they're kind of...
They do a great...
they're all very... I tend to have Tuscan reds. I like Chiantis, I like Montepulcianos, things like that. Partly because I lived out there for a little while, but... it's nice.
But I think what you've got, if you do want to go for it, you've got a great variety called Teraldago, which is produced up in Trieste in that area, so it's quite light. It's their version or variation of a Pinot Noir.
I mean, it is a very French-inspired dish, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well done. Deep south.
The south,
France.
Yeah. But people associate maybe some of the whites from down there, but the reds tend to be slightly heavy because obviously it's quite sun-drenched, so they tend to be higher in alcohol. So what you've got in the northern sort of style are lighter and fresher because obviously it's not intense and heat and everything, which will help the grape varieties grow. So something nice and fresh. Happy days. 12.5% as well. That's right there.
Do you want some more while I'm getting ready for the next?
Why not?
You should.
I should. I need to.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
All right. Okay.
Proof is in the cooking, sir. You can't get better than this. The wine matched the guy at eating the food. So
well, you should really. Yeah, you stuck to one side. Look, here we go. Let's. No, there you go. You're in.
You're in. Pudding, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Okay.
I shall move this over here.
So.
So which one do we say we're doing next then?
We're going to do the brownie.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so we're going to go dessert. We're doing things a little bit the other way around today, but you know, because we're allowed and we can.
Absolutely.
So we're going to do a brownie, and I think everyone should know how to make a good brownie.
Absolutely. My wife's favourite.
Is it? Right, well, we best send her away with a portion.
Absolutely, she'll be a very happy lady. I think she's listening live now. I hope she is anyway. There we go.
Okay. So.
That's always a good sound, the cork.
It is, yeah, it's a good sound, that, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is get get the chocolate on first, and then I'll talk you through what kind of a brownie we're going to make. Are you a dark chocolate man?
Absolutely. What sort of cocoa have you got on there?
70% on this one.
Way forward.
I didn't want to go too far.
Yeah.
Because it just gets a little bit too bitter.
Which is,
I think they do an 80, don't they?
Yeah.
Green and black's we're using.
I know what our pastry chef at the college, he's used to, it's like 90% before and really rich, I know. But
it's just so bitter, isn't it? And robust as a flavour, but you know.
We do our best.
I've got a friend of mine, Paul A. Young, who runs a Chocolatiers in London.
Ah, okay.
Very, very clever man with chocolate. Very clever. Definitely the wife's favourite. There you go.
That's my wife's.
We have the technology.
Indeed. My wife's course is obviously like on the show.
Okay, so chocolate going in. Let's just give this a chance to melt.
If you didn't
We're going to do a
use
couple of things.
such high cocoa, would you use a lower cocoa depending on the style?
I wouldn't on this because let's not forget we've got sugar going in this.
Absolutely.
I've got a little trick up my sleeve with a few flavours and make things a little bit interesting.
This is what we like.
So let me just find a pan as well. So I've got a few tricks up my sleeve.
Look at that.
And my little homage to Yorkshire, where I'm from. Originally, sort of from rhubarb.
From the triangle,
I actually went to the rhubarb festival last year and cooked and did some demos. Looking good, Mr. Headley. You got some street. Well, that's something.
That's the wines, and that's the man that I bought them from.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
Plug Windermere Wines. There you go.
Absolutely. So you got
Yep.
So you got the wines from Windermere Wines, yeah.
Again, I think it's, as we were talking earlier before we start the show, there's such a vast array of wines. You've got the supermarkets to get there. I thought, as you said, using different producers and things. So I thought I'll keep it local. Know Anthony very well.
Yeah. And do they do mail order? Can you order online?
You can. I'm not sure about online. We do have a website where you can order within the locality, but it's not like obviously say a Laithwaite sort of style or Virgin Wine sort of style.
Okay.
We have a shop in Windermere and Ambleside. They supply a lot of hotels, restaurants and pubs within the area. They do some very unique wines as well you wouldn't normally see in the supermarkets.
So it's in Windermere.
It is actually Windermere itself.
Oh, well, it's worth a visit, isn't it? It's a nice place to go.
Absolutely.
So, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to melt the chocolate down. Takes a little time, but it shouldn't be too bad. And then I'm going to show you a few bits and bobs. But luckily, I've got one that I made earlier.
That's what I like to hear.
Always prepared, Boy Scout. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get the eggs on first. So I've got 170 grams of dark chocolate, 70% in there. 2 medium eggs, 150 grams of golden caster sugar, so you get a little bit more flavour when you start to use darker sugars, but I think if you go too far it can get too dark.
And especially if you're using sort of high quality cocoa as well, do you think it would intensify
I think the thing with the brownie is getting the balance between the sugar and the bitterness of the chocolate. And if you're going for you couldn't do a milk chocolate brownie, it would just be revolting. It'd be too sweet, too strong, in my opinion. And you're just not going to get any flavour, it's just going to be sickly sweet.
What do you think of ours? It's got to be the flavour, has to be.
Well, you try to get that bitterness of the chocolate, and I think chocolate's quite interesting, because it's a bit like wine actually. When you taste it with somebody who knows what they're doing, you do actually get a lot more flavours. Like if I were to taste some chocolate with Paul A. Young, I'd feel like I actually knew what I was doing. Because he kind of pulls it out of you. Again, and I'm sure you'd be the same.
It occurs to me, one of the elements of the level 1 award in wine that I do, we do a food wine matching element. That's what I say from there. And I get them 6 ingredients which you have to get the best match with the 6 wines that we try. Right. Some will go brilliantly, some won't work at all. So you have to cross and try the board, and I give them about 70% coca. And weirdly, a lot of people think the Chardonnay, one of the wines we try with it, goes really well. But the Shiraz is the one that goes. It's really rich, deep red wine. It really intensifies the chocolate, but to me it makes it more taste like a raspberry effect. So the wine, even though it's quite peppery and full bodied, with the dark chocolate, it kind of like gives that more of a fruitiness to it. So it's interesting the intensity. It's a wonderful experience. But there we go. So ladies and gentlemen, try out there, get some Shiraz, get a bar of dark chocolate, try away.
This is what happens in his house on a Friday night.
That's it, chocolate and red wine.
Kids to bed. I know, So, is there any wines like that you're desperate to try that you've never tried before? Is there like the Mecca? What's the holy grail of wine for you?
Oh,
I have restaurants that I want to go to.
the Mecca.
Where is it?
For me, it would be trying a Romney, probably an 82 Burgundy from Romney Conti. Going back to the Champagne, King wines for the celebration, King wine. Krug 82 Clos de Mencel. That got me into wine. I was lucky to try some and never had a bottle since. So that would be my holy Mecca for that for an occasion. Red Burgundy Pinot Noir, Domaine Romney Conti. Say no more.
Okay.
Bordeaux, probably a Rothschild. But I haven't got one specific country, which is a hard one. I've done just like 3 French wines there.
So are you an old world wine man? Or?
Absolutely not.
No?
I love to go New World as well. If I was going to go New World, again, probably Californian Cabernet. Brilliant. I think it is some amazing wines. But to be really out of the blue, English white or English sparkling wine.
I was going to ask you about English wine.
Brilliant. One joy of global warming, Peter. It's kind of given us a more temperate climate for the south coast. We make some amazing sparkling wines.
Yeah. Why sparkling? Why are we making sparkling wine?
I think it's because we do a lot of still wines, and the whites are very good, and the temperature is very Germanic or very Sauvignon Blanc-esque in the style. And a lot of the grapes we use, we do grow traditional champagne grapes, so like Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, Chardonnay.
Right.
We also blend with our indigenous or varietal varieties that grow well in this country, and they make some superb wines. And even the French, when blind tasting, thought it was champagne, so we're one up on the French in certain areas.
Well, that's always good to get one up on the
Absolutely.
French.
And we're starting to get a really good reputation for growing them. The likes of Whiston Estate, Camel Valley and Cornwall, brilliant producers. I suppose Nightember's kind of like the big daddy of them all.
Right.
Because of the style of champagne it makes. But super wines. But to go back to where you were talking about living in Italy, it's the big Sassicaia, brilliant.
Right.
Probably the top.
Not heard of that. Where's that?
Sassicaia, it's Chianti, so it's like one of the super Tuscan wines. It's not wholly Sangiovese, it's a blend of other varieties which kind of like are out the norm, so it's not the traditional style. Okay. But Sassicaia is the one. Big Barolos from Piemonte in Northern Italy. Super. I think it depends for me, it's the occasion, the food, and what it's going to be paired with. That excites me more.
So what would your last meal be if you were... You're going to drop off this mortal coil.
Oh.
What would it be?
Oh, God. You put me on the spot.
And what would you drink with it?
Well, I'm going to go with something simple like oysters. Yeah. For a starter.
Oh, okay. You're going 3 courses.
I'll go 3 courses.
You're trying to string this out, aren't you?
I'm going oysters and champagne. My Krug will come in there. Beautiful. Simple oysters. Bit of salt, bit of wedge of lemon on there. Happy days. Straight from the sea. Brilliant.
Right.
Main course. Do you know what? I'm going to be really boring when I say this. But I'd probably go for sort of like filet mignon, fillet steak, happy days. Lovely.
Are you Cumbrian?
No, northeast.
All Cumbrians bloody eat meat. I've never known a place eat so much meat.
I'm a fine man from the northeast, but I've been here a long time. But I would go for sort of like probably filet mignon, and you go for a Northern Rhone Syrah, probably from Cote Rôtie or Hermitage. Super wines, brilliant.
I feel like you're speaking a different language to me at the minute.
Think Shiraz, Northern Rhone, France, beautiful wines. Not as intense and heavy as the Australian style of Shirazes, but amazing stuff. And probably for dessert, do you know what? Simple. My French pastry chef liked me for saying this. Would be just a simple apple Trou Normand, very simple apple flan with creme pat in there. And it would go wonderfully well with a dessert wine. And I'm not going to say French. I'm just going to say maybe something from Hungary, like a Tokai. Super.
Hungary?
Hungarian Tokai. Wow. Super wines. But again, it depends. I'm happy with those, but somebody said, Graham, last day on earth, but we're cooking for you. I'll go with the flow.
Would you?
Just as long as it doesn't get anything too nasty like Blossom Mill would be alright.
So are you also a beer man or not?
Beer, absolutely, and I think we're blessed in this area with a load of different microbreweries and small producers. So yeah, I am a beer man. Stouts at this time of year, brilliant with stews. Golden ales, great with fish, that sort of stuff as well.
Golden ales are great in this country at the moment.
Hawkshead Gold's amazing.
Oh, okay. I see, I'm a Loweswater Gold man.
I bow down. Loweswater is fantastic as well. On draft, not bottled. Same with the Hawkshead Gold.
I kind of like either, if I'm honest. They're like very different beasts, aren't they?
They are, and even over traditional golden ales, one slightly, I think the Loweswater is slightly more fuller than the Hawkshead. But I suppose it's palate and taste and more different how we look at things as well.
So, right, while we were chatting away, it was really good. You'd think I planned that, wouldn't you? My chocolate and butter are melted, okay?
Super.
So I can get rid of that pan, and you can see kind of
what's going on.
You can see what's going on. I want you guys to look at the mess of my kitchen. So, all I've done is I'm taking some rhubarb and I've cut it long ways, and I've cut it, and they're quite small pieces. And I'm roasting them on a dry pan. There's nothing in there, so the natural sugars are going to come out. I'm going to put some ginger ale in, because for me, brownie, chocolate, ginger, rhubarb, ginger, orange, ginger. This is the glue that's going to hold all this dish together, and that's how my mind works with cooking.
I'm liking it.
Okay. Some people wonder how my mind works, particularly my mother and father, and they do question me sometimes. But
I've had this before.
And then all I'm going to do is reduce this ginger beer, and I chose this Fever Tree one because I know it's got loads of flavour and not a stack of sugar in. It's got a nice, interesting ginger flavour. And do you see there the way the rhubarb has just started to catch? Yep. Just as it's starting to caramelise, that's when you add the liquid and you stop the frying process. So by the time that liquid is evaporated, we just end up with a nice ginger syrup. Done.
So it's reducing the stock,
so there's a little bit of bite in the rhubarb, so it's not just soft and soggy, and it's also, it's got that wonderful ginger flavour. So
you want to keep the bite of the rhubarb, don't you?
Absolutely. Otherwise, it just becomes very soft.
Yeah, which is not
so 2 eggs, sugar. Okay. Straight into the chocolate. I always go cold into warm. Okay? Because if you pour warm chocolate into a cold bowl, it just starts to set instantly, and you don't get a really beautiful amalgamation, okay? And then I'm using a spoon, not a whisk, okay? Because I don't want to beat the air out that we've put in there. And all I do is turn the spoon one way, turn the bowl the other, and you can kind of see how it's got that lovely marbling effect, okay? Just keep mixing nice and gentle. Don't overwork it, don't go bananas on this. And if you turn the bowl one way and the spoon the other, you do less work. And it folds a lot quicker. Okay, so that's done.
Handy tip.
Orange zest?
Yeah.
I'm from York. Terry's Chocolate Orange Factory was part of the Horizon.
Lived down the road.
So everyone kind of wondered what went on in there, like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
This is it.
I'm a chocolate orange man, but a dark chocolate orange. Never milk chocolate.
No. Has to be.
Never milk chocolate. Okay, so, and when you're zesting your orange, kind of turn your orange. Don't move the zester. You wouldn't believe how many people at the cookery school are like, I don't know how to do that. And it's just, you've got to turn the fruit over the zester.
So what would happen if you don't?
You end up going onto the pith, and that's bitter.
Which isn't what you want.
That's really, the white stuff is bitter, the orange stuff is nice and fragrant. Okay. Okay, right. So, I've got 50 grams of flour. Not a lot of flour, and if you want this gluten-free, use ground almonds. Tiny bit of flour. The best brownies have the least amount of flour in my opinion. And then again, the same, the fold. Okay?
One way to the other.
Yeah, really just fold it. Don't over mix it. Let me just show you that. You see how the rhubarb now, the ginger beer, is pink? And we've just got there, just a little bit. I'm just going to work that together now. Okay. Do you make a good brownie? Do you cook much?
A little bit. I did train as a chef when I was at college, but sadly I went the other way, front of house, so that's where my...
Okay.
Nothing against food. My wife does an amazing brownie though. So
Yeah,
she does. She's very good.
No pressure.
No pressure there then.
California prunes.
I've tried one of these ladies down, fantastic.
All I have done, again, I'm trying to harmonise everything that's going in. All I've done is pour some ginger beer on these and just leave them to soak. And you could do this with prunes, you could soak them in anything you like really. Or you could just chuck them in as you do, but I quite like the fact that these boys are just going to carry that little hint of ginger and that beautiful fruitiness. I'm not even going to cut them, because when you hit the brownie, I want you to get that big hit of sweetness.
Nice. Now, if you weren't a prune person, what would you substitute the prune with?
You could use dates if you want.
Dates, okay.
You could use pear if you wanted to. Pear and chocolate work quite well. You could use white chocolate buttons if you know. I just quite like the fact that you've got these lovely bits of sweetness in there.
Absolutely.
I've got a few walnuts. We can chuck those in. So we've got a bit of crunch, bit of sweetness. You know, you're either a walnut brownie or you're not a walnut brownie, I think.
Each their own.
Absolutely. You could put pecans in, you could put, you know, salted peanuts in there if you wanted to. Work quite well. That whole salty chocolatey bit. So I'm actually going to add a touch of salt because I think it always works with chocolate.
I think that's a trend these days now, something with the darker chocolate.
I think
mixing different things like chilli with it and everything else.
I hate chilli and chocolate.
I've never tried the chilli chocolate, but I've had it with sea salt and things. It works quite well, but it depends on the process.
Do you not just think it's because our palates have become a bit more educated and we're a bit more daring and we're kind of getting it a bit more now?
I think so as well, but I mean, the question I'm asking to, you know, with the wine course as well, palates have changed. When we talk about champagne, in the early part of the 19th century, everything was sweet because that's how our palate liked things. So what we see as traditional champagne now would be sweet in the early part of the 1900s and onwards, and it became dry throughout the century till we're now at the brut and ultra brut styles of wine.
Okay, so I've just poured that in. Give it a shake, give it a tap, let everything kind of find its natural way. 160, probably about 20 minutes. If you want it a little bit gooey, if you don't, have one I made earlier.
Oh, fantastic!
Don't worry. Okay, so nice little crack, and you can see it's risen in the middle and it's just dropped a little bit because that is where it's soft and gooey in the middle. Luckily, in a nice loose bottom pan, that makes life so much easier. Okay, so are you hungry for dessert?
I think we will be.
Right, what I'm also going to do is I've got a passion fruit here, and what I actually saw somebody do this not so long ago. I'm just going to squeeze the passion fruits out. And then I'm going to add a touch of honey to kind of counterbalance. So just dip your finger in there, have a taste. It's kind of like, wow. Tart, So a little bit of honey, but not so much that it makes it really sweet, just enough to make it balanced.
So the sugar will take away some of the bite of the passion fruit there, the sweetness.
A little bit, a little bit. Because I don't want this just super sweet and rich. I want tang, I want balance. Okay. So a little bit of sweetness. Have a little taste of that now, and it should be a relatively different affair.
Counters it, absolutely.
So just dip it in, seeds and all, and then just a light brush of passion fruit on top of the brownie. Just enough, just to kind of, it's almost like you're squeezing a bit of lemon on a fish as it goes. And we're just giving this a little tickle of acidity, I
like that. The tickle of acidity, that's good.
A little tickle. I might hashtag tickle now.
I think that's good,
So, pastry brushes and hairs, watch those. So I'm just going to cut this. Cut your decent wedge. You're a northern boy, aren't you? So there you go.
Good size portion, Peter. Good size portion. Look at that.
So you got that gooiness, but then you've also got a little bit of crispness as well. Which is what it's all about, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Right, I'll move this over. Mrs. Headley wants some.
She'll be happy, lady.
Okay.
Right.
What are we going to have? So I'm just going to put the rhubarb on, and I'm actually going to serve it up with a little bit of creme fraiche as well, just to complete it as a dish, but far away.
What I've chosen is a very classic dessert wine from the Bordeaux area of France, classic Sauterne, which is then a Sauvignon, Semillon, a bit of Muscadel in there, produced using via the Noble Rot method, which is basically probably doesn't sound as nice as I'm about to describe it. It's a vine disease effectively. What it does, it's grown in damp conditions, and the vine's attacked by a fungus, which we call Noble Rot. I won't go into more detail on that. And what it does, it concentrates itself on the grape, sucks all the water and sugar out, so what you find is you get a very shriveled grape and a lot more concentrated and richer juice once it's crushed. Now the reason it's in half bottles is because the amount of grapes it crushes to create this wine. What we find is we have something that's quite richly honeyed, sweet, without being too sickly sweet and overbearing, and it matches well with a lot of different things, but I think with chocolate, the hard and fast rule with dessert wines are always have them sweeter than the dessert you're actually about to try.
Okay.
So that's the way to look at it. So the richer the dessert, get the richer dessert wine. So I've marked this one quite well with this. So hopefully what you'll find is, on the nose, honey. straight away. Honeysuckle, honey, dried fruit, apricot, etc. as well. So that comes through, it's quite predominant, certainly with grape varieties, give it that as well.
Like that. Like that.
Fresh acidity, quite rounded, not being too cloying. There's loads of different ways we'll make dessert wine, but the classic, obviously, example is Sauternes. It's one people will recognise. But just as an alternate hint, this was soft cheeses, die for. Get a brie, any sort of like cheese like that, brilliant.
Nice.
But with chocolate,
right.
Again.
Let me just take a picture because I'll get shouted at if I don't. Right, go for it.
Fantastic.
I'll try your work. You try mine.
Absolutely. I'm going to try it with a bit of
everything. Try and get a little bit of everything and see.
Which is the way to do it. See how we go. Oh my god.
I don't think normally people would put rhubarb and chocolate together. I actually think one kind of works against the other. So you get balanced, clean, and hopefully the kind of ginger just brings it all through.
That goes really well. It's not overpowering, it's about getting the right balance. So you've got that sweetness coming through. We just had somebody come up and ask what the wine is. It's a Sauternes, produced by Boutonnet and
What I'll do,
oh, you go from there?
I'm going to photograph the wine,
yep.
And I'll put it straight up on Facebook for you, and there you go, because we have the technology.
Absolutely. That's just balanced really well. It's cut through.
It's lovely, isn't it?
The acidity, the slight balance there, and that how you've done the rhubarb works really well. It's de-intensified what will be quite an astringent flavour of rhubarb on its own. You've got the creme fraiche, obviously, slight creaminess to it, but the chocolate just really works well with. As a combination, wow.
It's good, isn't it? Dessert wine. There you go.
But if people didn't want to sort of have a Sauternes, try it with
dessert wine.
Yeah.
Gone.
Done. Excellent. Questions answered. It's quite cloying as well. But generally, what you'll find is with dessert wines, well, Peter, is some can be quite high in the alcohol. This one's about 13%. And the reason that is, it's the way they've stopped the fermentation process. But a lot of the German styles of dessert wine, which are really rich, like the ice wines and beer and Auslesens, a lot richer, but they're lesser in alcohol because of the way they've used the grapes to kind of like maximise the sugar levels and the content within the grape as well.
Well, what's your thoughts on German wine? It's had a rough trap, and
it has had a rough trap. People obviously associate Blühnen and everything else and all that sort of stuff, but underrated, fantastic wines. And such a diversity. I mean, Riesling is their key grape variety.
Yeah.
But Riesling is a grape variety in its own right. It produces a whole broad range of wines from bone dry to rich, intense dessert wines and different styles. And the Germans got a really good way of doing it. More approachable, probably the Alsace styles of Riesling from just over the border as well. But amazing. But that just works really well to go. Oh my God, I'm still tasting it now.
Good.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Lovely.
Yeah. What do you think?
I love it.
Yeah. In fact,
I would never naturally go for a dessert wine.
But if somebody didn't like a dessert wine, try, probably without the creme fraiche though, a red wine, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And the French do some amazing dessert style red wines as well. But Grenache would be good.
That is good. I really like that. Excellent.
Yeah.
Right. What I'm going to do is, we're going to switch off for a minute, we're going to have a tidy up, and then we're going to come back and we're going to cook the last course together. Okay.